Let's see. I think we're live. I think we are live. Let me know in the chat. Hope you guys are doing all right. Let me know for live streaming. We got 20 people watching already. You guys were waiting. You guys are legends. I don't know what to say. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Hope you guys are doing all right. Hope you guys are doing all right. Aye, we're live. Aloha, welcome back, bro. Andre, Mugsy, Electric, Benz92, of course. Welcome back. John, hope you're doing all right, my friend. P. Snell, nice to see you back again, my friend. Morton, good morning. Nice. Nice to see all of you here again. You guys are legends. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Hope you guys are doing all right. 1246. Hello, King. Hello, my friend. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you're doing all right, my friend. Andra, good morning, my friend. Have a good day. Have a good day as well, my friend. Just Build, good morning. Or good evening here in Australia. Nice. Good evening to you, my friend. Neil, good morning. It's nice to see all of you guys tuning in already. You guys are legends. I truly appreciate that. So let's have a look at the market for today. Let's go over the market for the guys that are saying hello. Let me come back to you in a second here. Give me one moment. I'm just setting everything up so everything is connected correctly. All right, give me 1 sec. Let me put in the account that we're trading. And let's go over the market. All right, guys? Let's go over the market. Let's have a look here. All right, so for today's session... Oh, I need to put some music on, actually. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's see. Let's put some music on. All right, can you guys hear it? I think you should. Nice. All right, here we go. All right, so let's look at the market for today. Let's start with MNQ, right? When it comes to MNQ, I'm personally preferring the long setup at the moment. I would like to see price coming down a little bit before continuing its long momentum to the upside, potentially into this fair value gap, targeting the high of Friday. So that would, or Thursday, Friday, Thursday, whatever. Yeah, before midnight open, this is what we'll be targeting. So that would be the bias for now when it comes to the 6 o'clock momentum, right? So I'm expecting price to push down into the fair value gap, create some sort of structural change, and look for the upside continuation here. It's a bit of an iffy situation when it comes to the VIX. The VIX should push up a little bit and then continue its push momentum lower. We can see how the midnight open actually got retested in its own cycle, meaning that we already came back to it, which I like for a continuation play. Then we came back into the extreme fair value gap on the VIX and sold it off lower, give a good displacement. So for right now, maybe the relative equal lows are the target for the VIX to the downside. That would be ideal for me. Just look for the short continuation, a fast continuation play here on the Nasdaq. If this is not the case, we first have to see an actual break below 2 o'clock, right? Below 2, wait for a new hourly open, and then look for the continuation play. So that would take a little bit longer, right? It's not a problem if that's the case. But that's the play for now for the Nasdaq, looking for the nearest to liquidity above, right? That would be the play. We're gonna see whether or not this is the case. If we want to continue lower on the VIX, that would be ideal. If this is not the case, and we want to actually flip and go back towards the daily open, as we understand that we had a pretty massive structural change, but overall the VIX is still moving to the downside. Asking ourselves the question: is this maybe the swing high to continue lower? Is the big question here, guys, right? And when it comes to gold, gold is for me long potential. Same scenario here. Question is, how far do we want to reach down before we go higher for me at this current moment, right? So anything below here, push back above would mean a long continuation play for gold based on the structure what I see here. But when I'm looking at the DXY looks kind of bullish, right? We have some pretty clear equal highs above, meaning that it could also be the case that this is going to be a short play on gold. So I'm going to be really curious to see what happens here, right? We just swept some liquidity just before 6. Maybe if they want to retest into 6 or go above it and then break below it, would be a confirmation for the short. It could also be the play that this will be the short play below 2 o'clock, and the retest below 2 would be the continuation play here with the stop above 6 o'clock high back towards midnight. Something like this could be the play as well when it comes to gold. We just have to see what the correlating assets are going to do. So yeah, when it comes to the bias, simply for now, potential shorts on gold or potential longs, and mostly preferably I would look for longs here on MNQ. That's the play for me at the moment, guys. That's the play for me at the moment. I'm down 350, hoping we can get it back together. Yeah, who knows, bro? Who knows? I'm not a magician. I'm not the best trader out there. So, yeah, who knows? Who knows what happens? All right, let's see. So, it's hot here. It is diabolical here. Really? Where are you right now? Where are you staying? Let's see. I'm not trading for now because I made 1.6k on the Nasdaq today at work. Ooh, nice, John. Well played. Congratulations. I'm currently in Turkey. Ooh, nice. Enjoy. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Enjoy it. So, who just tuned in? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Good morning from Germany. Good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing alright. Evening, mate. Yo, Cam Jam. Hope you're doing alright, my friend. Welcome back to the live stream. Good to see you tune in. Yo, Raven. How you doing, my friend? Welcome back to the live stream. Alright, let's see. So yeah, this is the play for now, guys. We're gonna just see and wait for it to happen. I would like to see a little push to the downside potentially for a continuation play higher. We have to also look at ES. So at this current moment, we have a pretty big divergence in location of price, meaning that ES never took the highs, and we already did it here on NQ. This could also mean that this would be a sweep of liquidity and that the VIX wants to continue higher from its current location. On the hourly, it does look like it could potentially do something like that and come back towards midnight again. We're just gonna see what happens here. We're just gonna see what happens here. I like this playlist. I can share it with you, bro. Not a problem. There you go. I shared it in the chat. Oh, here you go. Shared it in the chat for you. All right, let's see. We're actually putting up pretty massively here now for MNQ. We never actually went below 6. So we have an inefficient candle at the bottom here. I can't trade it, of course, now. We just have to wait and see what happens. Good afternoon, CDP. Hope you're doing alright, my friend. Hope you're doing alright. Call sign. Welcome back to the live stream, bro. Nice to see you tuning in. You guys are legends. I truly appreciate it. Imran, good morning. Good morning. Let me know where you guys are from. By the way, I brought myself a cucumber. I still haven't ate anything at all, so I needed some breakfast. All right, let's have a look here. So do we have a bottom wick? We do not have a bottom wick. I'm pretty sure of it. No, we do not have a bottom wick. That's a bit of a toughy situation here, guys. If we want to push up without a bottom wick, then maybe eventually we'll start seeking lower again. We'll just have to see what happens here. You gotta see what happens here. Hi, looking for gold buys. Yeah, nice. I see the reasoning here. Especially if we want to continue sinking lower here on the DXY. Then I fully agree with your thesis. Then I understand completely why you would look for buys here. Let's wait for this 5-minute to close. Then we have a new 15 opening up here. And we're going to see what happens afterwards. We just swept liquidity. We tap back into 2 o'clock. So we know that we are trying to break through o'clock to the downside, which we didn't. We already swept the liquidity here previously. Efficient, making it efficient again. Breaking up, breaking structure, breaking up, breaking structure. Sweeping liquidity, but never breaking structure. Which is interesting. This could definitely be a potential long setup from here. Like this, with the stop below 6. Low, targeting back towards London highs and higher. Just depending on whether or not the DXY wants to break lower here. That's the big question for me right now. Whether or not this is the case. If so, yeah, where could we target for the DXY? We could target right below this low as our first initial target. Wow, let's see. 1.4k subscribers. Yeah, you're right, bro. I really appreciate you guys. It's amazing. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. All right, I'm gonna also open up gold here. Give me a second. Also opening up gold for just the sake of potentially buying gold soon. Let's see though. Let's have a look at what happens here at the closure. Also need to see a good closure here for the dollar. You can see how we make price efficient here into the fair value gap. I think the XAUUSD needs to fall to make the bull flag. Yeah, let's see. Right now it's not doing it though. Not doing it as I would like, at least. Need to see some good closure. I won't be entering this trade, so we're gonna wait for a bit. Purely because of the closure here on the DXY, it's not looking favorable for me. The closure back into the range. They might go from here, you never know. But yeah, it is what it is. Good morning, Clayton. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you are doing all right. Sunda, good morning. Everything is going great. Thank you for asking. Let's really appreciate that. I wouldn't say this is looking ideal for the buys as of yet. Could play out still, though. Don't get me wrong, right? Could still play out, but it's not looking all too ideal for me. So we just re-rated the highs. Let's see if they want to re-rate the lows now. I'm having a bad day, losing money after money, but I don't let it break me. It's part of trading, bro. You know, the problem is with trading is we define our days based on the results that we're getting in the market, but not on the results on whether or not we're taking good trades, but on whether or not we're making money, right? And we should step out of that mindset, because losing money is the game that we chose to play, right? That's just how it works. You have to lose money to make money. Yeah, there might be some news coming up soon. Hey guys, by the way, if you enjoy the live streams, make sure to smash up the likes. That would be highly appreciated. Let's go for 100 likes today. That would be nice. Let's go for 100 likes today. We could already be at 60. Let's see. London was in a 100-point range. Looks like we're waiting for some news, though no scheduled news today. Yeah, but geopolitical news could always come out, right? Geopolitical news could always come out. Right now, it also doesn't seem all too favorable here on the Nasdaq. We're just ranging. Do you guys see that? It's not really doing anything. Look at the difference between yesterday. So we look at the price action that we were trading yesterday at 6 o'clock. So let me see. This was yesterday, right? Yeah. So look at the price action that we had yesterday on. Wait, I'm confused. Was this yesterday? No, this wasn't yesterday. This was yesterday. I'm so confused. I thought, what the hell? What are you talking about? So look at the price action that we had yesterday when it came to 6 o'clock. The fluent price action after we had some consolidation, and how we could then participate in a long continuation play. And if you look at it now, it's not fluent, right? So we have to wait for some fluency in the market before we can actually get involved here. Hello Thomas, what are your thoughts for today's market? We're approaching daily bearish FEG and we have a lot of draws on liquidity to the downside. Personally, depending on the VIX, if the VIX wants to continue selling lower, I will be looking for longs on the MNQ. Looking for previous day high or Friday high. We just rated previous day high. That would be the target for me currently. Whether or not that's gonna hold is a big question, right? Like if I'm looking at the VIX on the higher time frame perspective, it's been selling off over and over again, right? You can see how we're creating on the right hand chart. You can see how we're creating lows, then we create a high, we create a lower low, create a high, and now it looks like we're gonna create a lower low, right? So we're just trending downwards basically. It's a bit of an important location here. If we're going to flip from the VIX, if we flip bullish from here, it would change the whole scenery of the trend at the moment. So I'm waiting to see what happens here, whether or not they want to go higher from here or they actually want to continue lower and rate all of this low resistance liquidity to the downside on the VIX. And if they want to go down on the VIX, we're going to go higher on the Nasdaq, right? Most of the times. So that's what I'm actually looking at to see what's going to happen here. Thomas, stream is pausing. I don't think that's the case. Is the stream pausing, guys? Let me know. As far as I'm aware, it's not pausing. Yeah, no, it should be good, bro. Yeah, it should be good. So that's the idea for me here, chat. Whether or not it's gonna continue higher for the short duration of time back to 220. And what happens afterwards, I don't know, right? We could also sell off after we rate the liquidity, and then maybe we buy up on the VIX, you know. Just reset the stream if you have any problems. Just refresh your page. It should, as far as I'm aware, it should be good. If not, then they're trying to stop us. They're trying to stop us from streaming. Could be the case. You never know. And yeah, when it comes to gold, I would prefer the buys, but I don't really like how it's corresponding here with oil and with the dollar at the moment. We do not have a top wick on the dollar, meaning that is kind of bearish for gold. If they want to, for oil, we do not have a top wick on 6. And if they want to continue pushing higher, like they've been doing, you would assume that gold wants to continue lower. And we are in a pretty good level to look for shorts. I just don't really like the fact that we're so close to this high. So yeah, I'm a bit iffy here at the moment. Hello from Tokyo, Musashi. Oh, you have a nice name, my friend. Good morning or good evening to you. Welcome to the live stream. I actually read a book by Miyamoto Musashi. I read both of them. The Book of the Five Rings, and I read the Dokudo. How accurate is the data related to the VIX? Does it play a big role when taking trades on NQs? The first time knowing about it. Yeah, well, accuracy is depending on the situation of the market, of course, right? Like there's moments that ES and MQ have a positive correlation, and there's moments that they have a negative correlation. I like it a lot to determine whether or not I think the trade is good, right? So let's say I see the VIX actually selling off. That's an extra layer of confidence for me if I was in longs on MNQ to confirm whether or not it makes sense. You can have a, I'll show you the, there's an article about the VIX, so I'll send it over to you here in the chat so you can read about it. But yes, for me, it does definitely bring some, confidence in the trades. Good morning. Please explain the strategy to us with 6 a.m. So 6 a.m. is the open of the current 4-hour candle, the current 2-hour candle, the current 6-hour candle, and the current 12-hour candle. 6 for me is the midpoint of the day. If you calculate the hourly candles from start to finish, 6 will be the 50% of your current trading day. It opens the last 12 hours of the day, meaning that both liquidity for the previous 12 hours is set. We can see how we're rating it above at the moment. It could also be that we're rating above and then we're trading back into the previous 12-hour candle. Right, I just use 6 o'clock as a reference, understanding where I'm located in price in relationship to the open, right? Same as why I use the daily open, the weekly open. I want to understand where we are in the current location in price in relationship to the creation of the candle, right? That's how I use it personally. And I use it to enter or use it as targets, you know? That's how I personally do it. So let's say we trade higher now and we open 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock would be the anchor point for me. 7 o'clock, right? Let's say we trade above, trade below, and I see that there's an inefficient bottom wick because there's a devil's mark, they call it, or just no bottom wick. We could target that for 7 to go back after we rate liquidity to the upside, you see? So this could be a target for us later on. If they don't want to give it to us now for the longs, we could use it for the shorts if the shorts are being provided to us. And if I don't have this on the chart, I'm basically trading a naked chart, so I have no understanding of what the candle creation is doing, you know? Or I need to have like multiple charts open and I still would lose my mind probably. So that's how I look at it. Ethia. I hope I said it correctly, but that's how I look at it. Yes, thanks for sharing the article about Musashi. Yeah, no problem. It's a really good article. It's a really good article. Okay, thank you. I'll ask again sometime. Sounds good and makes sense. Hey, no problem. I'm working out on a PDF now, a free PDF for you guys, where I explain how I trade it. You know, the kill zones of ICT and everything like it. I just look at it at one candle creation, right? And that's how I personally do it. And I explain everything on my ideology when it comes to trading. I just give the breakdown here. As you can see here, so you have 2 o'clock opening up, breaking below, and you can see the higher time frame candle being created on the lower time frame. So you can see, this is by the way a real chart. I just I let it be drawn out by AI. I think it looks cool. But yeah, and then you have the same stuff here, right? You have a break up above daily open, back into for value, right? Selling below, retest of 2 o'clock, that's your sell-off, current day low, inefficient PA on the left-hand side. And yeah, you have multiple of those setups, right? And then this is 6 o'clock, for example. So you can see 6 is rating up. You have a structural break to the downside. You understand you're trading at the top of the day or the top of the wick of 6, right? And you look for the current day low as a continuation play. It gives you like, this is the 7 o'clock, for example. And you could target back to 6, you see? So those are like a lot of examples that I put into a PDF for you guys. And you can just look at it, you know? Spot's girlfriend. Hi, how's everyone? Doing good? How are you? Hope you're doing all right. How can I get the PDF? The PDF will be shared with you guys once it's finished. So just tune into the live stream, you know, and then once it's finished, you get access to it. How many funded accounts are you trading right now? I'm trading now on stream 2 accounts. We're trying to build these up together live. So they're halfway done. They're halfway done. We had one like full-on losing day now on the account, 200 bucks. That was last Friday, after we got taken out on break even on that continuation play to the downside. I had to lock myself out, otherwise I would have been tilting for sure. You guys remember I made a post on it on YouTube. Which prop firm do you use? Right now I'm using Lucid at the moment on stream. I used to trade with Topstep. I've traded a lot of them, guys, right? I'm mostly green with most of them. I'm only red with FundedNext on the CFD side and the future side. And not like lightly red, pretty heavily, actually. I discovered a dude yesterday, Lorenzo Corrado, clearly Dutch. Also have this accent, he's very similar style with you. Do you know him? Yeah, I've worked with him in the past. That's the guy that I used to live stream with on YouTube 3 years ago. I used to live stream with him together on YouTube. But yeah, we trade similarly, but he uses volume profiles and stuff. He does have a lot of other stuff as well that he uses. So to a degree, we wouldn't be trading the same way. What is your thoughts on FundedNext? I'm currently using them. I think they're alright, bro. They're a big firm, so they probably will pay you out. I just yeah, I just couldn't manage to do so. It's like a curse, you know. Some firms you work better with, and some others you don't. You know, it's I don't know, I don't know what to say. It's like it's different or something. I'm a product designer, but I've designed some pamphlets, so I can help you with the PDF if you're interested. Hey, I really appreciate that. Yeah, maybe we can have a chat. Just send me some DM on Instagram. ThomasJacoba on Instagram. Just send me a DM. Did you hear about Traders Launch prop firm? No, I never heard of them before, bro. I think it's best to avoid new firms, guys. It's just my honest opinion. Just focus on the firms that have been there the longest. They also need to have the capital to pay you out, right? It's really easy to start a prop firm, guys. You need to understand it only costs you like $5,000 and you open your own prop firm. So if you wanna rock people, you just open your own firm and you open it Cayman Islands, and you disappear, you know. I've lost 2 flex accounts and I tried Rapid Daily, new plan, and also blown it sadly. Yeah, chat, maybe you can look into Lucid or in like Bullnox or something like that, where your cost to entry is lower. You just pay it after your activation fee. After you pass, you have an activation fee. But that might be a smart idea, you know. Just keep the cost low in the beginning and give yourself some more chances, you know. What's the time to pass the EVA on Lucid? You don't have a time period, bro. Thomas, have you tried algo trading means automating your approach? No, I haven't. For me, personally, I also mentioned it in the PDF. You have multiple ways of trading, right? When it comes to algo trading and stuff like that, my strategy is based on price action, reading price action, right? So you're making certain decisions that I feel like can't be coded. It might be if someone has that mind, because a lot of coders, they have really statistical mindset, right? So they have to see this, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and if that happened, then you do this, then the algo does this and stuff like that, right? I've noticed that trading to a degree is intuitive, or it's like discretionary, like you can't really put something to it because it's uncertain all the times, right? So it's a bit of a, I never tried it before. Maybe you could simply make it, because you could say that we're trading candle flips, right? So you would say that if they trade below 6 o'clock for a certain percentage relationship to the current trading range, and it flips bullish, you would enter your long setup on the retest of 6 o'clock, and you aim for, let's say, a 2 standard deviation of the wick from the bottom half to the open, right? So you would say that you would enter like this, you put your standard deviation on, and you would target 3 because you would target a 1 to 2, right? So you would target it like this, right? Something like this, for example. Maybe that works. I've never tried it before because I have no idea how to do it. But maybe it would work, you know? But yeah, in the end, it's like, how would you explain it to an AI is the question, you know? Yes, Electric, yeah. So, but no, I know Lorenzo personally. I speak to him often. Let's see though, nothing is really happening here, guys. On the 1 minute, not looking all too favorable. We are still selling off here for the VIX. Nothing is really happening, guys. I've noticed, we're just looking at the chart, like sure, it moved up 50 points, but you couldn't really get involved here. And we can't still get involved because there's no bottom wick on 6, so I can't long it here. So we just have to wait. We just have to wait. What a beautiful thing is trading. You know, if you look at it rationally and you don't look at it from, okay, I have to get in now. Yeah, you just have to wait, you know? Like, you don't really have a choice. It's funny. Trading is funny. Yeah, gold is nothing yet. Yeah, the only thing I was looking for was the long setup, right? On the 5 minute from here. But because of the closures, I couldn't get involved. So maybe this would have been a setup. But yeah, easy to say when it's playing out, of course. But yeah, right now it's nothing. And we're also selling off here on the dollar, which is good. But we do not have a top wick. On oil, we do not have a top wick on 6 yet, which is not ideal. If we are selling off, you would say that there's a big chance we're going to buy up here on gold. If they want to continue selling off for both assets here, for oil and for the dollar. I think DXY is going down. Yeah, it looks like it, right? It looks like it wants to go down. If you look on the hourly perspective, you could say that there's multiple wicks, so it doesn't really want to break it. But let's say they really want to break it down. There's a chance that it wants to continue selling off. Maybe on the next hour. Max, hope you're doing alright, bro. Welcome back to the live stream, brother. Thank you for tuning in. I'm learning and we'll see how it goes. All right, Sanda, let me know. Hopefully it works out for you. That would be nice. There's multiple ways in trading, you know, like if you can make a good algorithm, if you can make something that actually works, then do it, you know, milk some money out of the market without having the emotions coming into play, you know. Doing fine, Thomas, thanks. Hey, that's amazing. It's good to hear, man. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, we are breaking higher here on MNQ. Because we have no bottom wick, I can't enter the trade here. So either we have to run it up towards 220 and we look for the shorts. Or we have to run below 6 and then look for the longs. If they don't run out the previous day high or the Friday high beforehand. Alright, we're moving higher here for gold. We are selling off here on the DXY. We're also selling off on the oil. I watched a few videos of the World Class Edge. Thanks for sharing. Hey, no problem. No problem. Glad to see it. Glad to see you watched it. It's really high content. It's really like it's insane actually. We've got 74 people watching. For the guys that have been here before, make sure to smash up the like and hit the subscribe button if you haven't done that before. That would be nice. That would be highly appreciated. All right, John. Enjoy your nap. Enjoy your nap, my friend. Enjoy it. All right, we have London open below us, 6 o'clock below us. Is this going to be the play? Is the question that we're asking ourselves. Something like this, or vice versa, right? We're already running up now. Yeah, we're definitely buying up here, so this would have been after the fact would have been a nice buy setup for now. Let's see though. We've got 22 minutes until the new hourly open. This might be where we could be looking for our setup. Let's have a look though. Let's have a look what happens here, guys. Can you give a basic explanation on how a wick or no wicks give you confidence to take or not take a trade? Well, the thing is with a no wick, right? For the ideal creation of a candle, you have a top wick and a bottom wick and a closure, right? This is your ideal. So this means that it would look like this, right? Like this. So this is your top wick, and that's your and this is your bottom wick, right? This is for the ideal situation. This would be a candlestick, right? From the inside out. If you do not have a top wick, this means you have inefficient price action, meaning that this right here is not efficient. There needs to be a top wick being formed, right? There need to be, in this instance, there need to be buyers coming into play here to balance out the market. Does that make sense? So if there's no top wick or no bottom wick, that's inefficient price action, meaning that it's going to be tough for you to make, at least for me, to make a decision, because there's a high likely chance they're coming out to raid it. So where do I put my stop loss, right? Let's say they would go below it and they trade back above it. It validates for me the stop, you see? So right now I just can't trade it because, yeah, where would I put my stop? I could put it here, but this doesn't define me being wrong on the trade. If let's say they trade below 6 o'clock, right? They trade below, trade above it, and they would have traded below here, and I have my stop here. If they then break below the low again, this would validate my stop, as in I would be wrong on the delivery of 6, right? My whole thesis is wrong, because they re-break the low of 6 and they might also go for 2 o'clock, you see? So it's all based on structure in this instance, and I just can't, yeah, I can't take it here because of the inefficient price action. But it's the same scenario here now for gold, right? Looking for the longs on gold, sure, it's looking all right for now, but when you have the contradicting elements, so yeah, look at 6 on the oil, you have an inefficient candle at oil, right? Like there's no top wick here, you see? So that means that there's a likely chance they're going to rate this out. And if they do, there's a big chance that gold is going to sink to the downside. And the same scenario is here. If you're looking at the DXY, you have an inefficient candle now. And look what DXY is doing. It's trying to rate it out. You see that? It's probably going to do that now. But that's the whole thing, right? It's like, yeah, it's a bit of a tough situation. Mostly happens when the volume is a bit lower though, or when there's not a lot of decisiveness in the market. You can see that there's not really anything happening at the moment, which is ranging here, right? So we'll see whether or not something is gonna occur. I feel like there's some tension in the world right now, right? So that's maybe the reason that there's nothing really going on at the moment. But we'll see what happens. Did that make sense? I hope it made sense. Orion, thank you so much. Hey, you don't have to thank me. Hopefully it helps you. All right, let's see here. We got the last 20 minutes from the current hourly candle. Seems like they're gonna rate it out. Let's have a look here, guys. We are definitely rating it out on the VIX. So you can see here on the VIX that the VIX is pushing itself higher at the moment. We do not have a bottom wick on this 20-minute candle. So let's see if they rate this out, what happens. This might be a potential buying scenario here for the Nasdaq if they reach back into this low, into this inefficient candle here, back into the London Open. Something like this, right? Would be nice. You can look at the 3-hour candle. We can see how we closed it bullish, right? If they trade back into the wick, then trade back above it, that would be that could definitely do something for us. And we have a clear target in mind. We have this high as a target, and we have the high above it as a target. So we have 2 highs to the upside for the Nasdaq if this wants to continue higher. Let's see though. Let's see what happens. Yeah, gold is still not really doing anything. It's still holding in the same level. We're in this inefficient price action here on the left. Let's see though. Let's see if we want to take this out. I'll put an alert on it just to make sure that I don't miss it. We're trading below already on ES. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Oh, let me actually put out an alert so people know that I'm live streaming. Give me a second, guys. All right, boom. All right, let's see. Let's see what happens. So looking at the ES already giving us that bullish sentiment here, right? Holding it up. It's also a bit wicky. We just took out all the liquidity to the upside. But if we want to make ES favorable again, meaning that they align themselves with the current trend of the Nasdaq, they would have to go all the way back up towards 52 here. So it's a pretty massive target for ES. It means that we could still reach way higher when it comes to the Nasdaq if they want to align themselves together. Let's see what the VIX is doing. Yeah, so we still have no efficient candle above us here on the VIX. Once they rate this out, this would be favorable to look for potential shorts if they want to break below it again. So let's have a look here. Let's see if this wants to play out for us. We got 79 people watching. Hope you guys are doing all right. If you enjoyed the live stream, make sure to smash up the likes. It would be highly appreciated. Even on slow days like this. Let's see what happens here though. Yeah, you have some clear liquidity to the downside. You have some clear liquidity on the Nasdaq to the downside. The question is, do we rate it out and then break above it again to go higher is the big question. I think I'm going to go long on gold at 64. At 4064. Oh, so you're looking to go long from here? Below the current 6-hour. I see. Okay. Yo, Thomas, having a good day so far? I'm having a good day, bro. Any day above ground is a good day. Even though not all days are good, it's still a good day because you're above ground. You see what I mean? So we're living, bro. We're living. That's what's all about it. All right, let's see what happens, though. Liquidity grab and then up. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Brother. I hope it does something, because right now it's not doing anything. Keep your face to the sun and you'll never see the shadow. Hey, I like that. So right, it's a good saying. I've watched a podcast once, and they said there's two wolves. One is in the shadows and one is in the sun. Which one survives? And the answer said in the sun. And the answer is the one you feed, guys, right? It's the one you feed. So the one that you give attention to is the one that survives, right? So you can, most of the suffering that we do is like we put it upon ourselves, right? We suffer more in the mind than we do in reality is one of the sayings by Seneca, right? And that's really the case here. What's up, Amsterdammer? And nothing much, bro. How are you? Hope you look all right. Hey, Thomas, which indicator do you use to mark out all the levels? You mean the times? It's my own personal indicator, bro. I'll share it with you. Oh, look at this. So we're selling it off here. I will share it with you in a minute, bro. So we took out the highs here on the VIX. Let's have a look here if we want to set it off from here afterwards. If they want to break it down for us, then we could potentially look for the longs afterwards. All right, let me share it with you. Give me 1 second. So I have two indicators. One of them is the monthly open and the yearly open indicator. Here you go. And there's another one that's how can I go back? All right, and that's the intraday opens, W07. There you go. You can use them here. You can just put them on your chart and adjust them as you like. You know, if you want to put any times on your chart, you just have to put the first hour, full hour, half an hour, whatever, right? And you put a 1 afterwards, so it draws it out for you, right? Yeah, that's it. For the daily open, it's already doing it out of itself. I love that you studied Stoicism. Yeah. I think it's amazing, my friend. I would say more it's like philosophy, personally. I just study all of it, you know? I study all of it. What's your bias on YM? I don't trade US30 personally. But we can have a look for you if you want. I would say prefer shorts, to be honest, if I look at it now. But it also depends on what the VIX does. But I would say preferring shorts for sure. Looking at how it's forming now. If this wants to stay above the weekly open, let's say it stays above it, so we close above the weekly open and we trade above it, you could potentially look to trade it back to the current weekly high. But if it rejects from the weekly high and it trades lower, I would say target a daily open. That's my personal view on it right now. So it's a bit of an iffy situation, whatever happens here with the weekly open now, right? That's my determining factor. So if they would trade lower and they trade below 6 again, I would say go back to the daily open. If they stay above the weekly open, I would say target it back to the monthly open or the current week high. Do you look for the VIX of the SPY or the VIX of the NQ? I just look at the VOX. The VOX. You could also, yeah, the VIX is mostly for the SPY, but it also correlates against the, it also helps just trading it for the Nasdaq. So I just use the VOX in this instance because I like its cleaner price action than the VIX, right? It does similar things though. It's not, it just cuts out a certain period of the day, you know? Let's see what happens here. We are selling off here when it comes to the VIX and not the VOX. We have a big, massive gap to the upside. Let's see. All right, we just tapped it out. Let's see if they want to break it down lower back to London Open here, or they want to continue higher from here is the big question. And let's see what MNQ does. We actually bought ourselves back up again. We never took the inefficient price action below 6. So we're still in the same roller coaster, guys. We're still in the same roller coaster. It never gave us anything here. Look at this. Look at the price action on the 1 minute on ES. That's nasty. That is nasty, guys. Look at the 15 minute. It's choppy. Love it. Last night, I think Globex at 28,700. I called 29K by this morning. Should have just put a midi on it and gone to sleep. Yeah, yeah. And it's always something like that, bro. But the moment you go to sleep and you put a mini on, it goes against you and it gets stopped out, and you wake up to 500 in drawdown instead of 2,000 in profit or whatever. It's the problem with trading. Got caught in those moves way too often. Yeah, no, that's why I'm staying away from it, guys. Like, it's important to, sometimes if you zoom out, let's say you're on the 1 minute, it looks favorable. But the moment you look at the 20, you're like, wait, we're not doing anything, right? And sure, if you sold it here, you made your profit here, you buy it and you sell it, whatever, and it's working out, do you. But for me, I can't make it work when it comes to this type of market, this ranging type of market, right? It just it gets on my nerves. So I have to just wait. Okay, so if we were in this trade on gold, we would have probably been stopped out on break even now. So yeah, that also didn't play out at the moment. Probably are rising, yeah. So we rose back. You see that, guys? For the guys that are wondering, I told you guys about the inefficiency on 6 for the oil. And look what happened. We just tapped it all the way back to the inefficiency on oil. That's nice. That's interesting. Let's see. Let's see. So we're currently trading in this half an hour, 20-minute gap. Yeah, 20 minute. We got a new hourly coming in a couple minutes from now. Let's see what this hourly does. Let's see where we close. Let's see where we close. This is the current hourly. This 6-hour high and 6-hour low. Let's see what we do here. We've got 81 people watching. If you guys enjoyed the live stream, make sure to smash up the likes. That would be highly appreciated. I know the market is really slow. I can't really do anything about it. I wish I could. But if you enjoyed the live streams, make sure to smash up the likes. Roma, good morning. Good morning. Hope you're doing all right. Let me know where you guys are from, by the way. For the guys that are new in the chat, let me know where you're from. If you've never been here before, that would be, I would like to know, you know, we can have a little chat. We just bought a new chair, guys. I just bought a new chair. Look at this. Look at this. I bought a new chair, and look who's claiming the chair. Look at this. It's just new, right? It's just a new chair. And look at this guy. He's even laying flat on his stomach all over the chair. Face into the cushion. Look at this guy, bro. Good morning. Good morning from Morocco. Hello, my friend. Hope you're doing all right. Yeah, he's the final boss. He's the final boss for real, guys. Like, genuinely speaking, my cat is the final boss. I'm from Iran. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing all right. What news is coming in? Yeah, there's no news at the moment. Probably some geopolitical stuff could happen for sure. He's testing. Don't disturb him. Yeah. So we also had a new carpet, right? Expensive carpet. This guy was sick and he shit all over the carpet, like genuinely speaking. Luckily it came out, but bro, a full-on woolen carpet, right? And like genuinely, and that guy got sick and he shit all over the carpet. That thing was new. It was there for like 3 weeks. Yeah, it's crazy. I even told, I still live at home, guys, right? I still live at home, and I told my mom, I said, why would you buy an expensive carpet with a cat? Right? I told her. And sadly, my theory was correct. What if he shits on it? This guy has diarrhea and he shits all over the carpet. Like genuinely all over the carpet. Like it was everywhere. Everywhere. I told her in the morning, I said, you're gonna wake up, right? Like you're gonna wake up, you're gonna see the carpet, and you're not gonna be happy. That's what I told her. Adrius, welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing all right. Oh, it's about the cat. Yeah, it's about the cat. What do you think? You think I'm gonna shit over the carpet, bro? No, of course not. Initial jobless claims. Yeah, but it's not major news. There's no jobless claims for the US dollar today. We have the weekly employment change, but that's not gonna be made. There's no news this week, guys. There's legit no news today. What's your opinion on gold? Hey Sophie, welcome back to the live stream. Hope you're doing all right. My opinion on gold is it's a bit tricky, right? Personally, you could say that this is a continuation play from 6 now, that they want to continue indeed lower. I'm just looking at the DXY, whether or not the DXY wants to continue pushing higher. Let's see what happens on the new hourly open here. But if they want to continue pushing higher, same scenario here for oil, I would prefer shorts for sure on gold, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Angie. When you own a cat, you're always surprised what happens in the morning. Like, my cat is a bit older now. He's like 15 already, so he's really old. But yeah, the last time I had birds and everything in my house, it's been a long time ago. But we had everything. Like everything. Moles, rabbits, yeah, pigeons, anything you think of. My cat acquired it for sure. It's like his trophies, you know. Shorts for retracements and then buy. Now I would say overall looking for shorts. If we want to continue the trend lower here for gold, I would just continue looking for shorts. But it's, of course, I'm not going to hold it all the way to the open of the day. I would just hold it for a certain period of time. But yeah, if we want to continue higher from here, where we've been trending up on the dollar, you see that? So I would say that then we have some potential to continue trending higher. If this is for them the monthly low, and the weekly low has been setting in the fair value gap, it might actually continue pushing higher for the dollar. And this means that gold could definitely be a continuation sell play for us. I like the overall formation at the moment. I don't think it looks that bad. Just testing out to see how much this oh. Yeah, just gonna see how they close, and I might enter a short on the hourly time frame here. But it also depends on how everything closes here for me to make that decision. What's your dream guard today? That's a good question, bro. What's your dream card, Thomas? That's a really good question. That's a good question. I don't really know, to be honest. I have multiple cards that I would like to have one day or own one day. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't really know, to be honest. A McLaren 720S would be amazing. You know? But I also like old cars as well, you know? Like an old vintage car, like an old Range Rover or something like that. That would be sick. Like a really old vintage, or like an old Mercedes or something like that. But that's not something you want to drive on a day-to-day basis, because you will get home with a broken back every day, right? But yeah. A Beetle. No, not a Beetle, bro. That's not my forte. All right, let's have a look here. Let's have a look how we close. All right, it looks like a favorable close. All right, let's have a look on the hourly here as well. Yeah, so retrace back into 6 o'clock open for me would be the sell. And I would sell 2 for retrace into 6 if they want to do that, of course, for gold. So the 6 o'clock open would be the entry. Just below 6 would be the entry for me. And my stop is above 6 o'clock highs with a continuation for well, probably 2R depending on the situation. So this is the current setup that I'm looking for, guys. If they want to come back up for gold for the shorts. Looking at the closure on the hourly when it comes to the dollar, I like that a lot. So I like this overall closure. But the question is, are they going to give it to us, or are they instantly going to sink lower? Because if you look on the 5 minute when it comes to gold, they might already gave the entry here. So I might have missed out on it. Would be less ideal, but we'll see whether or not this is the case. We'll see whether or not this is the case. Could still come back higher again in the next 15-minute candle. Re-rate the highs. Beef, welcome. Hope you're doing all right, bro. Hope you're doing all right. Welcome back to the live stream. Nasdaq is still not doing anything, so preferably I would be looking for shorts here on gold. I think we missed it. You never know, bro. You never know. You never know. You never know. Could have also entered at the closure of the hour. Accepted a little bit bigger risk. But I didn't want to do it. I was looking for that exact trade on the 5 minute. Yeah, I did look alright. But it's a bit iffy, you know. I would like to have the higher time frame closure and then the retest for the continuation play. Personally, I think that's more favorable. So yeah. Also, when it comes to risk to reward perspective, guys, if I would enter here and I put my stop above here, let's say I would target it at the midnight from here. That's a 2.15R return, right? If I do it from here and I put my stop here and I then target back to midnight, we're talking about a 4R return, right? So I have to risk less and make more with the same target. Or I can risk less and make more. What should be the target on gold? I would say midnight open could be a potential target here. So back to these, back to the open and close from the 6 o'clock perspective right here. That would be the potential target for me. Let's see what happens here on the VIX. The VIX is breaking out higher. Yeah, we did rate this high. We're breaking down here on the Nasdaq. Let's have a look what here happens at the moment, guys. Let's see what ES is doing. Yeah, ES is already selling through here. Let's see what happens here now on the Nasdaq. All right, we're selling heavily on gold. For whoever caught it earlier, congratulations. Maybe I could have entered one contract like this, but I decided not to. Easy to say afterwards, of course, but I think this one is gone. So I'm just gonna remove the limit. Yeah, maybe indeed it was this one, the retest of 6 after breaking through it. Just we're too patient for it. It is what it is. Yeah, you also had to break above. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, gold is going down really heavily. But let's see, we have a new 15 coming up in 10 minutes from now. I'm just gonna put an alert just for the sake of it. Let's see if they want to come back up or not. And let's have a look what happens here now on MNQ, guys. Because we're breaking out pretty drastically when it comes to the VIX. To the upside at the moment. Let's see if they want to respect this fair value gap and push higher and go for the highs. That's what we're looking for at the moment. Whether or not this is the case is the big question. Otherwise, we will be looking for shorts at 6 o'clock open with the stop above the 7 o'clock high, back towards London low, like this, right? Yeah, I think the closures are really bullish at the moment. Alright, I'm gonna look for shorts here on MNQ, guys, instead of the longs. So I'll be looking to short MNQ instead of long it. If they come back into 6 o'clock open here. And the stop would be placed above 7 o'clock high. Let's see whether or not this is the case, though. Could happen on the next 15-minute candle. I'm just looking at the VIX here, right? So you can see how the VIX is breaking out pretty drastically here. We have equal highs, relative equal highs resting above here, right? These are relative equals. Well, yeah, they took the inefficiency, but I still think we could come back into it. And we have a clear high as well near us for a potential target for the VIX. So if this want to continue higher, then we could sell off lower here for the Nasdaq. We're going to see what happens. Gold sold off heavily. Gold is selling off heavily, so whoever took it, congratulations for the sells. We didn't take it, even though 6 would have been the entry based on the model. I didn't like the delivery on the DXY. Otherwise, this would have been a really nice trade. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe it still comes back up on the next 15. You never know. You never know. I am on a gold short. Congratulations, bro. Well played. Yeah, so how much would it have been? We got 110 people watching. If you guys enjoy the live stream, make sure to smash up the likes. That would be highly appreciated. That would be highly appreciated. What account size do you trade again? I'm trading a 50k account right now. I took gold because of the bear flag. Congratulations, Sophie. Well played. Congratulations. You should be in some nice profit at the moment. And that's in the 15-minute FEG. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that, bro. I'm just looking at the VIX right now. The VIX is pushing so drastically that I would assume that we're going to go lower. And the dollar is also rising, right? So we have some contradicting statements here. The dollar's rising drastically. Oil's rising. The VIX is rising. I personally think that we could sell lower here on MNQ for the current duration of time, for sure. If you look at the DXY, it looks like we just want to... Yeah, we were a bit iffy in the situation, right? It was like whether or not it's going to stay below and close bearish on the hourly was the big question. So the moment it closed bullish, we were already too late on gold. Yeah, it's a bit of a tough spot to be in. But if we continue breaking out like this, whoever is in the shorts on gold, you should be alright. Should be a really good position. If they would come back up, I would still take this trade down, by the way, on gold. Depending on how they move here with the DXY and oil. But right now it seems like oil wants to ride these highs above us, and same stuff here for the DXY. It seems like we want to go back towards these relative equal highs, all of them, rate the liquidity higher. And for the VIX, it's doing the same stuff right now, you know, it's just pushing higher. If that's the case, then it's all right. We're trading it back towards midnight. That's good for me. I would like to get involved though. No, I'm not gonna enter from here, my friend. I will. If I enter higher. If I enter, I would enter higher. I'm not gonna enter from here. So, just saying. When it comes to gold, got a new 15 coming in 4 minutes from now. Yeah, I'll just put my sell limit of 2 contracts on gold above us as well. I can't see it. Alright, in case they want to come up, we could still get tagged in here. Stop would then be above current 6-hour high. We're getting up for the Nasdaq here. Let's see if we're gonna get tagged in. It seems like we're gonna get tagged in now. Alright, we got tagged into our trade on the Nasdaq. And let's see what happens here. Let's see if they want to set it lower, yes or no. Or they want to break it up all the way is the big question. The stop is placed above the current hourly high. So let's say they break it. And I know that I'm completely wrong on the bias here. If they would break below the current 5-minute set-in low, I would have to go to break even. So let's see what happens here. Would be nice to see this close below the 6-hour low or 6-hour open. It's also the low, by the way. If that's not the case and they close back above, this could also turn into a buy setup instead of a short setup. But it really depends on what the VIX is doing here, because right now the VIX is really pushing itself higher still. It's not giving me any bearish signal at the moment. Signament. I don't even know if that's a word, to be honest. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. Could still be the case that the original buys for the longs are going to be correct from the fair value gap. This could still definitely be the case, right? Purely because of how the VIX is moving, I'm preferring longs now instead of shorts now instead of longs. We'll see whether or not this is the case. Yeah, you can see that we're selling off as well here on the DXY. Good push momentum on NQ against us, of course. We've got a new closure coming in 15 seconds from now. All right, looks like it's gonna close above 6 instead of below. Who knows? Anything can happen in 2-3 seconds, but doesn't look like it. All right, let's see what happens here, guys. Where do you have your order for gold? Just below 6 o'clock open. Just below 6 o'clock open, so around 76.9-ish. 6.9. Yeah, somewhere around here, yeah? I got 120 people watching. Hope you guys are doing alright. If you enjoyed the live stream, make sure to smash up the likes. Would be highly appreciated. Let's see, we need to see some reaction of bullish structure coming in here. Yo, Leo, hope you're doing alright, bro. Welcome back to the live stream, my guy. Hope you're doing alright. Hope you're doing alright. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate that. Let's see if we can break through London Open here, guys. See if we can keep up the momentum to the upside here on the VIX. It's currently retracing. We'll see what happens here. It looks favorable here on the S, that's for sure. Looking at the candle closures and stuff. But whatever looks favorable is only favorable if it plays out. Otherwise it doesn't matter. Yeah, we do need to see them break through here to the downside and not to the upside. Let's see what the dollar's doing here. Yeah, dollar's selling off. It's not too favorable for us if this happens. Yo, Stove, hope you're doing good, bro. What's good? Life's good, man. How's your life? Are you a father yet? Let me know. Let me know. You need to keep me posted, bro. You need to keep me posted. We got 120 people watching. Hope you guys are doing all right. Let me know where you guys are from if you've never been here before. Would like to know. Smash up the likes, by the way. Would be highly appreciated. For everyone who already did it, you guys are lovely. Thank you. Love it. All good, brother. Not yet. Any day now. Amazing, bro. I'm happy to hear that for you. Happy to hear that for you. North Carolina, welcome. That's nice. I'm from near Amsterdam. I'm from the Netherlands. From the Netherlands. The VIX is not really doing anything. Still moving higher though overall, but yeah, let's see. Let's see what happens. Philippines, nice. Welcome. Good morning from Florida. Good morning. Hope you're doing all right. Welcome to the live stream. All right, we're breaking lower. Moving the stop loss towards break even now, guys. Assuming that they set in the high now for the 15-minute candle and they want to continue lower. So, yeah, let's see. We're in a safe trade now, regardless of what happens. I would like to go to break even after they break the lows here. But personally, I do not want to see them flip now in the last 40 seconds. That would be a bit bad on this 5-minute candle. So I'm assuming they want to run through it. Alright, looks good. We're also breaking through on ES. So that's nice. Let's see if they want to continue. They're definitely selling it off though, so that's nice. Clean entry. Yeah, it's a nice entry. If it plays out for sure. That would make it even better. Let's see though. Gold is not coming back, it seems like. We're still holding on to the limit here and see whether or not this is potentially coming back higher before it goes. I think gold was also nice, guys. We just missed out on gold personally. Basically, yeah, the DXY wasn't really feeling it for me. Is the 6 AM candle line placed at the wick or the body of the candle? It's at the open of the candle, so the body. Bowser Trades. Bowser, my guy, legend. Bowser is the legendary trader, guys. It's my VIX. She's not cheating on me with you. Yeah, she's cheating, yeah. She's cheating, bro. She's breaking higher now, so that's nice. NQ got a rejection from the 1 VWAP deviation. Came through, GG. Oh, nice, nice. Glad that the VWAP is backing us up here. I didn't use the VWAP personally. I used 6 o'clock open. The more confluences, the better, right? Let's see. NQ got a rejection. Oh, I already read that. My bad. My bad. All right, let's see if they want to break through here, guys. Let's see if they want to break through to the downside. If the VIX wants to continue, that would be nice. I'm putting an alert down for the VIX at this current high that we're facing. And let's have a look here at ES at this current low. Already tapping midnight open for ES, which is not a problem if they break through it, of course, right? So that would be important for us. Yeah, I'm gonna remove gold for what it is, guys. I'm gonna leave gold out of the picture now. I'm just gonna focus on MNQ. Unless gold comes back up, I don't think it's gonna do anything for us here. We missed out on the gold move, sadly. Should have been in way earlier from here, or entered at the new hourly open. It is what it is, though. It never provided the top wick that we wanted. What would your aim be for gold if you were in gold? Midnight open. Back towards midnight open right here. If you look on the... Oh, the VIX is already crossing up. That's not ideal. We're not following through here on the Nasdaq. Let's see if we can... if this wants to continue or not. And the next target would be back towards these candles opens and closures here on the VIX. Yeah, let's see if we can survive. If we survive this move down, it would be nice. Obi, welcome back to the live stream. Hope you're doing all right. Welcome for tuning in again. Appreciate it. But yeah, for gold, I would be preferring back towards midnight open, because there's a gap below, right? And it's never traded back into it, so there's some inefficiencies to the downside. A lot of bullish structure, but no bearish candles that ever came back into it. So I would be looking to sell it into midnight, personally, on gold. That would be the target. So yeah, when it comes to the 6 a.m. open, for the guys that are wondering what I'm referring to. So when you have a basic formation of a candle, you have an open, a high, a low, and a close, right? So this is basically what happens inside of a candle, right? So if you had a candlestick, this is what it would look like, right? Open, a high, low, and close, right? You see that? So in this scenario, it's a bearish candle because the closure is lower than the open, right? This is your open and this is your closure. So in this scenario, 6 o'clock open would be this, right? And we traded it back into 6 for the continuation play lower. And that's the idea here that we currently have, right? That's the current idea that we're trading. As you can see here precisely, right? So if you look at 6, we traded above, rated liquidity from previous day, trade below, have 7 o'clock open, trade back into the wick, continue lower. And now we traded back into 6 and we tried to see if this is a continuation play lower from here, right? Looks like it's buying itself back up now, which is not ideal. But you never know. It could still go the other way. You never know. Yeah, I was in gold sales, but then I had to leave the house, got scared to leave it open, dude. I need to reduce my screen time. Too much distortion. Yeah, well, you only have to be at the charts for a certain hour per day, guys, right? That's my personal advice would be to non-financial advice, by the way, but my personal advice would be to just look at the chart for a certain hour every single day and ignore the charts overall for the rest of the day and just find your setup within that day, you know. And if you find something, you trade it. If you don't find it, you just walk away from the charts, you know. That's really the best advice I could give you, non-financial advice. Because like, you don't have to stay behind the chart. You're not gonna be more profitable the longer you stay behind the charts. Like, that's a fallacy. That's a lie. It's not how it works. And like I said it before, right? The only way to lose money is to be trading. You won't lose any money. Sure, you won't make money either if you're not trading. But at least you're not losing money, right? And the goal is to not lose money in trading, right? It's to prevent losing capital and only step on board when you feel like your edge is in play. So you have to ignore all the other stuff. And the only way to ignore it is to not look at it. Because if you look at it, you get induced to take trades. That's how the market works. Or at least that's how we feel like we see trades in like the, how could I say that? Like, you're hallucinating to a degree, right? You see stuff in randomness. So you make trades up in your mind and stuff. Well, they're not even there. And that's not good, you know? That's not good. Let's see, guys. Hey, we're selling through again on the Nasdaq. That's good. That's nice. Are we breaking higher as well on the VIX? Yeah, we are breaking higher. Let's see what ES is doing. Yeah, ES is also shorting through. It's looking good at the moment. How much time do you think you spend on trading total per week? Because I'm live every single day, 3 hours. It's 15 hours, you know? But it depends. It really depends. Because if I wasn't live streaming, probably, depending on the sessions I trade, same, right? Around 15 hours or something, I guess. It depends. If you're trading on 1 hour creation, so you only have to be there for an hour at a time, you could spend 5 hours a week on trading, right? But if you want to trade the full 3 hour session and wait for the specific setup that you're looking for, like in this scenario, we would be looking for the shorts, right? And the shorts weren't present until the second hour of the 3 hour cycle that I look at the charts. So I would ignore the first hour and now I got involved, and now depending on how long it takes for this trade to play out, that's how long I would be at the charts. Normally, if I would be at break even, I wouldn't be looking at the charts, because it's not that I can do anything about whatever is gonna happen. You see what I mean? I can't really do anything. Like, I have no control over whatever the chart wants to do. I have no idea what the chart wants to do, by the way. Like, I wish I knew, but I'm just trying to trade the probability, you know? Good morning, just showing your support. Roa, I appreciate that, my friend. I really appreciate that. Thank you. If you look at the chart, it will look back at you. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. It does, yeah. Alright, let's see whether or not we want to come back up for gold. Still. Could still be the case. I would still look for the shorts if this happens. Could also happen in the next half an hour or in the next hourly candle. We'll see what happens though. And let's have a look at what the XY wants to do from here. If they want to break higher, the yes or the no. Really slow music, guys. I'm gonna do the next one. Alright, let's see. I'm doing okay though. Hope the weather is good on your side of the earth. Yeah, it's nice, bro. It's sunny. I actually enjoyed my morning reading a book in the sun for like a half an hour or something like that. I stopped drinking coffee. Normally I would say I would be drinking coffee in the morning, but I stopped drinking coffee 4 weeks ago now. And I gotta say, to a degree, it is definitely favorable stopping drinking coffee, like genuinely speaking. I feel like I have way more energy at the end of the day. And normally, because I drank a lot of coffee, guys, I drank like 12 espressos a day, right? So I was a coffee maniac. And now I feel like I have way more energy because I'm not relying on caffeine to make me feel energetic, right? I have my own build-up energy. I sleep better, stuff like that. It actually does the trick. My goal is to just take 2 to 3 trades per week and get the full month done. I'm working on that. You should definitely try it out. Welcome to the live stream. Sitem Bele. I hope I said it correctly. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing all right. But yeah, that's definitely a good idea, you know. Reducing your trades per week. Trading is a long-term game plan, guys. Truly, like any trader that's profitable will tell you the same thing, right? But in the end, we all want to ignore the good advice and we only want to listen to the bad advice because it sounds way more boring to just take like 3 trades a week. Even though you only need 3 trades a week to, in the future, accumulate $1 million. You don't need 20 trades a week. You only need 3 good trades a week. Let's see if we can survive this top wick on the 30-minute, guys. Currently, we are pulling up pretty heavily here. Let's see if we can survive it. Currently, it looks like we are surviving it, but you never know. I'd like to know how you did overcome greed, like holding trades for too long and profits, then break even, then stop loss. Just calculating the maths, bro. Just calculating the maths. Yeah, if you can consistently make around a 2-hour return with a 50% win rate, is way more profitable than a variations in win rate and a variation in risk to reward. Right? Just one big trade doesn't mean that it's gonna play out again and again, over and over again. Meaning that there's big chances that you then get emotional and you lose money that you weren't necessarily needing to lose. And for me, just based on the calculations, if you can make a 50% return, meaning that you have 50% win rate on a 1 to 2 hour return on your trades, and you do that consistently for a long time, bro, it's like there's no stress, almost no stress involved, because you trust the plan, right? Of course, you could have 6 losses in a row, whatever, and you could feel completely downfall, and you could ask yourself if you're a loser or whatever. But it happened to me, of course, before. But in the end, it's like, yeah, bro, I don't know. If I held 5-hour trades, and I did it before, I also did it on the live stream. It's nice, but you're gonna take partials. You want to take some money out, especially if you're watching the trade. You know, some people are managing to do that really good. They make 20-hour returns or whatever, and they're not involved into it. But I just take the 2R and I call it for what it is. Same thing yesterday, right? Like we had the long on 6 yesterday, and it would have played out to a 7R or something like that. And sure, I could tell myself like, oh, I could have made so much more money and whatever and whatnot. But how many times does it come back after it hits 2R, you know? Is the big question. So I think personally, when it comes to overcoming that stuff, is looking at it rationally, bro. Making a plan when you're rational, right? That would be my advice, personally. Sparrow, hope you're doing all right. Welcome to the live stream. Oh, you were like me. I'm highly addicted to coffee, but I also process of making and drinking it. Oh, you enjoy making and... Okay, yeah. Could definitely be, you know, something you could be addicted to, for sure. Coffee is dumb for most part. It's just a sugar addiction. I don't drink coffee, bro. I don't drink coffee with sugar, bro. I just espresso. So black on black coffee. I don't drink coffee with milk either. I was just black on black, bro. No sugar added to my coffee. You know what the problem is with trading, guys? And I think most of you... Ooh, I'm getting old. Most of you can relate to this. Let me know in the chat who's actively watching. Press 1 in the chat if you're actively watching. Let me know. Alright, we got some active people in the chat. Alright, nice. So, I'm going to ask you a question, right? And that's as follows. Let me see how I can state this question, actually. Let me see how I can state this question. Okay, for example, when are you more... let's say, for example, the moment you lose a trade or you blow an account, like genuinely blow an account, you're emotional, you're crying your eyes out, whatever. The moment we are in the valley of despair, we're more eager to learn. Who agrees on that, right? You start searching up podcasts about emotions and stuff like that. The moment it doesn't work out and blah, 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 blah. But that's the moment you can't learn. You see what I'm saying? So when you're in emotional distress, your mind is not gonna learn anything. You see what I mean? So you have to learn stuff about what's going on afterwards when you're rationally thinking about it, right? So your rational mind can actually learn about what you're feeling and what you're going through. You see what I'm saying? Because if you're emotional, a lot of people, they attempt to change their strategy and do a lot of stuff. Like they will start watching podcasts about trading psychology and whatnot when they're completely in the valley of despair. And I did it as well. So I know you did it on the other side of the screen, right? It's not a problem. I understand because I do it myself often than not, right? But that's not when we can learn most efficiently. You don't learn under emotional stress. You have to learn when you're rational. I don't think we're going to survive this top wick. I hope so. But you have to be rational when you're trying to learn something, guys, okay? So that's my advice, is try to not change anything when you're in the valley of despair, meaning that when you are emotionally distressed about trading, just step away for a moment and look at it with a rational eye the day after and try to learn something afterwards. I think we're going to get taken out here on break even. Maybe we're surviving, but I don't think so. Doesn't look like it at the moment. It doesn't look like it at the moment. But who knows? You never know. Would be nice. I wasn't expecting this massive of a pullback up though. I gotta be honest with you. Let's see if this if we're still gonna survive this, yes or no. If they tap back into 6 o'clock, it could still be the case that they want to sink it out lower afterwards. But I don't know personally. Yeah, so it was, the problem was midnight open. You see that? Yeah, we got taken out on break even. Alright, it is what it is. Let's see what happens here now though. It was midnight open, you guys see that? It's kind of upsetting. Like I even said it. I said midnight open has to be broken on ES. And they didn't do it. So we are break even on this setup. It is what it is though. It's alright. Part of the game. Let's see what happens now. Let's see if they're gonna break it higher or not. So this one is finito. What's your best way of the day to trade, Thomas? Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. What does your tattoo say? This is my mom's birthday. Yes. It's my mom's birthday. He's not trading gold. Yeah, I would still trade gold if gold wants to come back up. But I was focusing more on Nasdaq because I like Nasdaq overall. But yeah, now it's changing the scenery, of course. Now it's changing the scenery. We also took that high, and it never went for midnight for the VIX. You could say that the longs are being validated now on the Nasdaq. And it didn't want to go lower, right? But I'm a bit in an iffy situation personally. I'm not saying it doesn't want to go long, but I'm questioning how do I get involved with a reasonable stop and entry. Because if I want to get involved now, I would get involved from 7. My stop is way too big for the target, right? It's way too big. You see that? So it's... yeah. I just can't. I have to wait for the new... I have to see if I can get an entry in a different manner if I want to get involved here. For the longs, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Could still be that this is going to be the short play. I just don't know how to get involved now. I'm done on the day, 150 on Topstep, 800 on Lucid, plus 1k on the 250 combine. I took the long in Asia. Roa, well played, my guy. Drop a W in the chat for Roa. Congratulations. For the guys that don't know, Roa is from the 0 Day J community. Like I told you guys before about the streamer that I watch on YouTube, 0 Day J. He's from the 0 Day J Degen fam. Congratulations, though. Congratulations, nice trades. Topstep sounds like a gym company, yeah. You could say so. I could assure you that sometimes they make people sweat. That's for sure. With their platform. But yeah. Did you hit TP? No, I didn't. No, I got stopped out on break even, bro. Dude is hilarious. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. Jay is the most transparent trader there is, guys. The most transparent trader. All right, so we're creating a breaker block here on the 3-minute time frame, below 6, and then we rate liquidity and break higher. Like I said, if I want to get involved, it's a bit of a tough spot to be in. For the stop loss, it's gonna be too big. Once Topstep got the developers back, it's been pretty solid. Okay, maybe I should give them a try again in the future. The only problem I have with Topstep now is that they charge VAT. So they charge 21% extra over the order purchase. I'm sure you can write it off and stuff, but still. I mean, 21% extra over 150k account already makes it pretty expensive. Yeah, gold is selling off again, yeah. It never came back to our level of interest. It tapped 2 o'clock actually, which is interesting. So they went back into the 8-hour open. You guys see this? Trading is such a beautiful sport. I'm gonna show you guys now, right? We weren't aware of this, but also if you would have traded this, then our stop would have been way too big, of course. But I'm gonna show you guys something, right? So if you break everything down, meaning that time frame synchronization, what I talk about in that video that I made, But look at this, right? So let's say we would have been trading the 8-hour candle. You can see that we have a previous 8-hour high, like here, right? We have the 8 o'clock candle opening up. Price trades up. That's 2, right? You see that here, right? 2 trades higher, right? So we trade higher. We create normal structure. We break below it, right? We come back above it again. We break below it again. We trade back into 2 precisely, trying to break 8 o'clock higher, but we couldn't. And that, for the people that were aware of it, that would have been your short play, right? With your stop in, depending on if you liked it or not, your stop could have been above 6, right? Because you're also trading the 6 o'clock creation. And then you would target back towards midnight low. You see that? So this could have been a potential play. I just wasn't aware of it, and I wanted it a little bit higher. But you see how if you trade price action and you look at the candle opens and closes and you understand, okay, what is the candle currently telling me? You can see the delivery, the change in state of delivery happening, right? You can see that we're trading below 2 o'clock. So we're trading below 8 o'clock open. We understand that 8 o'clock is a pretty massive candle in the day. And we can see that there's a pretty big gap between the open and the closure from midnight to 2 o'clock. Meaning that this could all be traded back towards what the open of midnight. You see that, guys? So it's pretty interesting. Like, I'm not saying it's the best way to trade or anything like it, but for me it gives me a really clear perspective on, okay, what's happening now and how can I use this, because I can see how price is moving around these levels, you know. So yeah, that's how I do it personally, for the guys that are interested. Some might think, what are you even yapping about? Shut up already. But that's how I look at it personally. All right, we're breaking higher here on MNQ. So the overall thesis that we had for the shorts, we're right for a little bit, but they ended up not playing out, which is all right. We've got a new 15-minute candle coming in. Let's see what happens. Does this want to continue higher is the question. You would say that this would be the entry with the stop below the current 7 o'clock low. But yeah, it's a 1-to-1. I can't do that. What I'm gonna wait for and see if this is an option. Wait if they want to come back into 6. Create a bottom wick on the current 15-minute candle. And then we're gonna try and trade it on the 15-minute time frame. So we're trying to trade the 15-minute creation here. It's a bit more risky, guys. So just so you're aware of that, right? It's a bit more risky. We're gonna see whether or not this is gonna play for the continuation long. Looking at the current structure, this could definitely be the play. But we'll see whether or not this is gonna happen. This means I would like to see them trade below 7, back into 6, back above the current 15-minute high. And then we would look to trade and look to enter like this, right? Basically on the flip and retest. And our stop would be placed below the 15-minute low. And our target would be towards 220 or towards this high, right? Yeah, you have to adjust the settings, bro. You have to adjust the settings. It should work, but you just have to adjust the settings towards the same as mine. We got 110 people watching. Guys, if you enjoyed the live stream, it would be highly appreciated to for you guys to smash up the like. That would be highly appreciated if you enjoyed the live streams. I think the gold shorts today were the play we had to just focus on. It's easy to say after we got stopped on break even, of course, but it looked like this was the nice play, the short from 6 after the rate of liquidity. But yeah, it is what it is. I saw you shadowboxing, good moves there. Oh, you mean on the bag? Yeah, I've been training for a really long time. I don't have any sparring videos anymore. I used to have them, but I have a new phone and I couldn't transfer my data. So I lost a lot of the memories that I had, sadly, but it is what it is. But yeah, I've been boxing for a really long time. I don't know if you can see that. The uppercut was nasty on this one though. Let me see if I can share this so you guys can see it. The uppercut on this one was really nasty. Wait, give me a second. I'm gonna self-gloat here for a second, if you guys don't mind. Just gonna look at myself boxing. Give me a second. All right. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, we never came back down. I'm still waiting. If they still want to provide a bottom wick on the MNQ, we could still look for the trade here. But I need to see them go lower first before I could look for the setup. Maybe this is the break and retest already. And it would be like this. So you have the open, the close, and then this would be the entry. With the stop below 15-minute low, back towards this high. But I personally need them a little bit lower for me to be interested in this buy. So I can't take this trade. Doesn't mean it can't play out though. Look. Look. I'm gonna show you guys. Look at this. Let me know if you guys can hear it. Look at this. There's a nasty uppercut. There's a nasty uppercut. You see that? Look. It's a pretty nasty lead uppercut, right? I'm just practicing right foot in front, right? I'm normally left foot, but yeah, that was a nasty uppercut, the right one. Look at that. That would have been a sleeper if that one hit the jaw. Gladiator. Yeah, that would be sick. The punching bag like tires. Yeah, old way, the old way. The old way. Alright, we're buying itself up. So for the guys that took the flip on the 15, you potentially have a nice setup here. I didn't take it. I wanted to have it a little bit lower, to be honest, to my preference. So yeah, we're not involved in this one, but this would be the buy back towards this high or back to 220, something like that. But I'm not involved, so yeah, it is what it is. We're gonna wait for the new hour. The new hour could still provide the bottom wick here, so I'm gonna wait for that and see whether or not this is gonna be the play higher now. The VIX is selling off again. I guess it wasn't meant to be. Uppercut like New York Open. Yeah, that's funny. Straight legs. You should use your knees more. I also can kickbox, bro. I can also kickbox, bro. I have a pretty good kick. Or kicks. Yeah. But when you're boxing, yeah, you're focusing, you know, like you're focusing on your footwork, right? So if you then start if you don't have to parry the low kick, so you know it's different. Voltaren, welcome back to the live stream. Hope you're doing good, bro. I don't know. Did I tell you already that my father was a Yugoslavian champion in boxing? No, I never heard of that before, bro. That's amazing. That's crazy. That's crazy. Little Rico, no way, not even close. I've seen Rico before. A friend of mine, for the guys that wonder, a friend of mine has started his pro debut just now in MMA, and he is training and is representing Tom Espinal. He's doing really well right now. He's a legend. I've trained with him before. Like I've shown you guys a video of me training with him before, but this guy is a champ, guys. Look at how big this guy is as well. This guy is crazy, bro. This guy is crazy. I remember when I used to spar with him, and it was actually okay, you know, like I was still losing. But if I spar with him now, he breaks my face, like genuinely speaking. And he's so fast. He's so fast, and he's like 2 meters and 5 centimeters or something like that, right? 124 kilos. You know, yeah, crazy. Great punches, by the way. Thank you, Andrea. I appreciate that. And Q, you're still short. No, I'm not shorting anymore. I'm not shorting. We got taken out of break even. Rocky Balboa. Yeah, nice. Let's see what happens here, guys. We just pull back into 6 o'clock. If they now would break back above the open of the 15, this could be a long potentially. But it's yeah, it's a bit of a iffy situation. Let's see. Just came near the open of the, or the high of the hour. Relative equal highs are created. ES is still holding down, so we have a bearish divergence with ES. Yeah, it's a good question, Ray. It's a tricky market, bro, because the initial short that we wanted was the was clear delivery. If I want to short it now, yeah, I don't want to short it now, to be honest. I gotta be honest with you. I don't want to short it now. Yeah, we'll wait for the new hourly open and then I will reanalyze and see how it looks. I'll wait for the new hourly open here in 5 minutes. See how they close it. Because if they close below 6, it could still definitely be a short play. But it's not looking ideal, right? The reason why is because the way on how it's forming, right? If you look at the, let's say we look at it here, right? You see accumulation, we wick at the highs, we break, and we displace, right? You're coming back into inefficient price action, into 6, and you see a delivery through. You're breaking to the lows, right? Now you broke structure internally to the highs again. You have relative equal highs to the upside. So you're currently struggling because where are you going to put your stop loss? If you enter now, you would put your stop above relative equal highs, which isn't a problem, you know, but it's not ideal. Yeah, it's not looking ideal to enter shorts here, personally, for me. Because the delivery overall, the moment we got involved into the short, that would have been perfect for the continuation delivery for the Nasdaq down. So now I'm a bit iffy, you know. Let's say they do take out the highs. So they take out the highs, then trade below again. That could definitely be something I would be looking for to trade down. And otherwise, it might be a long play, you know. It might be a long play. But the VIX is pushing higher again. So the VIX is also contradicting that statement. It's a bit of a tricky market today. If you look at it, we never go anywhere, actually, to be honest, right? Since the moment we started streaming, we went up a little bit and we went down a little bit. But we did not continue the trend in either direction. So it's just ranging up and down. You know, we could have made some money, but we never came to the 2R return on the trade. So, yeah. We couldn't enter anything in here. Like, no way. Whoever did that and you made money, congratulations. But here, I couldn't make anything. Then, yeah, the shorts were in play. This was nice. Didn't continue going through. And now we're back here again. So you could say that this is the long, but yeah. Yeah, buy is decent to 220. Yeah, I agree. I think they might want to take out the Friday highs, right? That could definitely be a play here. But then I would like to see the VIX also playing in our favor. And right now the VIX is not doing that. Let's see. Oil is continuing pushing higher. Means that gold is still looking perfectly good for sells. Question is, how do you get involved here? We're trading the current 6-hour candle. So what happened? Trade it down. Okay. Different music. Alright. Trading it down. Trading it up again. Trading through 6. That would have been the entry for 6 short. We missed this one. Never came back. Then we traded through 2 o'clock. We traded back into 2 o'clock. Right here, right? Back into 2. Trading it down again. Let's see. And now we're creating structure again for potential sells. Question is, how do we get involved here? We could potentially look for a short on gold. If this wants to keep following down, then we might see something happening here. If the new hour gives us a bottom wick or top wick, we could potentially look for a sell here. Just have to see what happens. Just have to see what happens. Because we're pretty far down in the current 6-hour candle. As you guys can see, right? The most ideal situation was this entry. And we missed it. So I'm not gonna force myself into a new one, but maybe something could occur here. If they break and close below here, something comes up again, and maybe raid some liquidity, give us a clear break of structure, and then we continue the trend back to midnight. And then we could still have a, depending on the stop, we could still have a pretty decent risk to reward, even though we're lower in the range. So we're gonna see what happens here. We got 2 minutes until the new hour. Let's have a look. Let's hope we get something out of it. If you guys enjoyed the live stream, make sure to smash up the likes. That would be highly appreciated. Let's go for the 100 likes, guys. Let's go for the 100 likes. $74 likes, you guys are legends. That's really appreciated. Only 26 more if you guys want to support the live stream. Overham was one of my favorite Dutch fighters. He's a legend. They also have the Golden Boy, Badr Hari. Mike Tyson liked him a lot because of the way on Badr Hari was just was an actual maniac. He should have stopped way earlier though. But yeah. Let's see. Let's see what happens here, guys. Who's still actively watching? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat who's still actively watching. Just press a 1 or say hello. Let me know. Alright, let's see. The new hourly open. Interesting open. Instantly pushing higher here on the Nasdaq. No bottom wick. That's interesting. There's no bottom wick. No, there's no bottom wick. Look at this, guys. There's no bottom wick. Look at how convenient. It happened at the same location it did it before. Everyone say beef. Everyone say beef. Can you send your link for the intraday opening again? Yeah, sure. Not a problem. Give me a second. Intraday opening. Here you go. It's in the chat. Do you have different risk? Yeah, sure. Yeah, for sure. So when it comes to risk management, for me, it's purely based on location of price, whether or not I'm willing to risk a little bit more or less. And it's on the market condition itself, right? The market, you can see it now on the 15 minutes, it's not favorable, right? It's not really moving anywhere. We didn't really do anything. And mostly it comes to the location of price. So let's say I would be looking for longs on the daily time frame, right? Let's say the daily is bullish for me and we are moving higher and price moving higher again like this, and we open a new day. We're trading below the current day open, right? This is the current day open right here, and I see something happening on the lower time frame here. Because I understand that the higher time frame is bullish and I'm looking for longs on the daily, and we're trading in an extreme because we're trading on the lower end of the day, right? So we're already in discount for the open itself, right? For the daily open itself, we're trading in discount because price agreed on opening here. This is the opening price, and we're trading below it. So I would be looking for buys if I was bullish for the daily time frame, right? The location already is significant for buys because you're buying cheap in relationship to the open, right? So this already gives me, okay, maybe I can increase my size on the trade. Then again, structure is also really important, right? So let's say we have the structure like this. You have the 6 hour open, price trades lower, trades like this, boom, 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 trades above it, This structure for me is amazing because it means that we have a breaker, as ICT calls it, but then in relationship to the open of the candle. Those are like the most amazing trades you could take, right? And then they come back and then you continue. And especially if this, for example, opens 7 o'clock, you're trading the bottom wick creation for the long continuation from 6. Man, that's insane, you know? So if the alignment of the candles look good, I would increase the risk, right? So it's purely based on the structure itself. And now the structure isn't ideal. You know what I mean? Because, for example, let's say we look at this current trade that we just took beforehand, right? Look at this trade that we took. 7 o'clock was above 6 o'clock for the short continuation play. Let's say 7 o'clock opened below. Let's say it opened right here, right? And we entered on the top wick of the creation, and the alignment is already there. Of course, the stop down would have to be here. But let's say the alignment was already there. You see how much favorable that is in relationship to where you open in relationship to the candle that you're trading. I know it sounds way harder than it actually is, but you closed the new hourly open, 7, below 6, right? So if you trade it back into 6, you're trading the top wick of the hour, right? So for the hour itself, you're trading in premium and you're looking for shorts, which means that if you enter here and you put your stop here and it breaks below 7 again, you can instantly go to break even, because they're confirming your thesis. You see what I mean? So then you could increase your risk because of the alignment of the candles. Right now, if we look at the current hour open, that's right here, right? This is 8 o'clock. You open precisely on 6, right? So you open precisely on 6. It's really tough to trade this stuff. You see what I mean? Because where are you anticipating that the bottom wick is gonna be formed or the top wick is gonna be formed? You see? My max risk, probably 300 or something per trade, bro. It's not insane, actually, to be honest. It's not insane. And as well, like, let's say you have, because now I'm trading 2 accounts, copy trading 2 of them, right? But let's say I was copy trading 20 of them. I wouldn't have to risk 300 bucks either. I would just risk 100 bucks. So it also comes down to the accounts that you're trading. If you're trading multiple accounts, you're copy trading them. You don't have to increase your risk because you're automatically increasing your risk by copy trading them. But if you keep the risk low, you're longer in the game. 50k accounts, bro. 50k accounts. That's probably something you guys can look into for the guys that are not trading prop firms yet or want to trade prop firms. There's multiple ways on dividing your risk. Either you accept that whatever you put up for the account, let's say you pay 50 bucks for the account, your initial risk is 50 bucks, right? You get 2,000 in drawdown back. For most firms, you get 2,000 in drawdown back. If you're willing to risk 50 bucks within 2 trades, right, over your own capital, you could risk half of the account size, and you could assume you might lose the account, but you buy a new one. By risking half, you're also earlier to the profit target of 3,000, right? Because you're risking 1,000 to make 1,500 or whatever you're allowed to do. Oh, 3,000 drawdown, right? You need to hit 3,000 in profit. So you could look at it from multiple angles. Either you're using actual capital leverage, so you buy more accounts, which increases the math, or you decrease the risk and you buy more accounts, so you stay longer in the game and you make more money without risking more money. So there's multiple ways on looking at this play, right? And I like to just trade the accounts up and not risk a lot of money from my own capital, because I've noticed that for me that doesn't really work well. The most crash out days that I have, I blow through a lot of money, and it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm more profitable. You see what I mean? As in, buying more accounts doesn't necessarily mean for me that I'm more profitable. I just need to let my edge play out and not get emotional, so I risk less. No problem, my friend, Jessrick. Have a wonderful night of sleep. Sleep well. Sleep well. That's a pretty decent risk on a live account. I copy 4 accounts, but only with 0.25%. Yeah, so you're basically risking 1%, but then divided over 4 accounts. All right? Which is amazing, by the way. I blew a 1k personal on last week, so I'm gonna keep it to the prop firm now. Yeah, it's like I personally think that prop firms, if you use it correctly, is way better than private equity. Right, just using your own money, because the risk to reward can be way bigger if you manage to get it funded. Right, and it's also way cheaper of learning. Thanks for being open. Yeah, no problem, man. I've got nothing to hide, bro. So you can ask me the questions all you want. I don't really mind. A lot of these, I've noticed that a lot of traders in the influencer space, or I wouldn't even call myself an influencer, to be honest, but a lot of people in this space are trying to make it seem way better than it actually is. Or they say that they can risk $3,000 on their account without being emotional. Some might actually do it. Or they use the entire drawdown or whatever, full porting it. It doesn't work for me, you know. It just doesn't work for me. It might work if you make 20, 30k a month from whatever you're doing on the side, and you're willing to invest 5k a month to make potentially 15k back or whatever. But most people are not in a position to do that, you know. Most people are not in a position to do that. How do you do your top-down analysis to entry? My top-down analysis is basically based on where are we in the current trading day, right? So let's say I'm looking for, in this scenario, I was looking for longs, right? I understand that if I look at the current day candle, that we were in the top of the day, right? So we were in the top of the day, but we have clear liquidity on the side. So you have previous day high on the side, right? That's your previous day high, right? And we open up 6 o'clock. My overall bias for the day was back towards previous day high or back into the current day trading range, right? So I have two scenarios what can happen from here. Then my overall bias is simple. It's just either long or shorts from this scenario. If the daily tells me it's overall shorts, I would just look for shorts. But now it's a two-way street because we have the 220 level above and we have clear inefficient price action down. So it could go up and could go down from the location that we're at. And then I just look at the lower time frame. Okay, what is the 6 o'clock candle telling me? Where are we trading in relationship to 6 o'clock? Are we trading below? Are we trading above? What is more eager to look for the continuation play? All right. And in this scenario, you could now see that price trades above 6, trades back into 6, right? We trade back above 7 o'clock like this. So you have your bottom wick being formed here at the open. So this is your, right here. This is your trading candle like this, right? For 7. And then 8 o'clock opens up. We trade down into the wick and we continue praying high. You can see it here on the right. I can see it on the lower time frame because my mind is trained to do so. But you can see this here, right? Traded back into London open and trading it up from now. The problem is, how do you get involved from here, right? I couldn't get a good entry personally. But yeah, I just look at the higher time frame creation and I'm asking myself, okay, what's happening now? If I look at 6 o'clock, I can see that this is the current body, right? This is the current body, but this is our bottom wick. And this is the body moving higher and lower. You can see that here, right? So if I look at 6 o'clock, you see this, right? You see that? So I can see, okay, what is the candle currently telling me? And by being aware of that, I can make, for me personally, better trading decisions, right? And then my bias is simply, are we going down or going short? It's based on the current candle creation. I have my higher time frame targets, meaning that I know that we're close to a liquidity point at 220. But I also know that there's a lot of inefficient price action to the downside. And 6 might want to retrace back into the current day open, which it did to a degree, right? We traded it down a little bit back into that 15-minute fair value gap right here that we initially looked for longs. But the VIX was showing us the other play around. Because that's the funny thing. We were looking for longs initially. But because we entered the shorts, we weren't going to take it out and then take the long, right? We were in the shorts right here. But yeah, that's how I do it personally. Does that make sense, MR? That's how I do it, my friend. I don't know if that made any sense at all, but that's how I do it personally. Yeah, let's have a look here, guys. So gold is still ranging below. If they want to come back up, we still could potentially get a trade, but we are closing into the end of the session here. So we have to see if that wants to play before us or not. Yeah, let's have a look here, though. Let's have a look. We could still look for this continuation play on the current 15-minute time frame, especially if we got sink lower here on the VIX. We could still look for the continuation play higher for MNQ. We're also breaking higher here for ES. So potentially this could be the long play. We have to see though. We have to see what happens. We just swept the equal highs. Can you please explain the difference between Lucid Flex and Lucid Pro, and why did you choose Flex? That's a good question. Let me take the thingy, the dashboard. So when it comes to the pros, right? Yeah, on the pros on the funded stage, you have a different rule setting, right? So you have 40% consistency on the pro, and you do not have that on the flex, meaning that you have to be consistent in your pro phase. You can pass it in one day, but you're not allowed to make all your profits in one day or whatever. You need to just be you have some rules that I don't like, and I think flex are just the best ones, to be honest. Personally, I think flex are the best ones for me, right? It could also be different for anyone else, but I don't have to pass my account in one day. Some people like to buy the account and full port it, you know, and then pass it in one day. But I personally don't do that. I trade them. I try to just trade them and take time and stuff like that. I don't need it today, you know? Some people, they want it today, and I don't need it today. Good morning, Slidey. Good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing all right. We got 82 likes. If you guys enjoyed the live stream, make sure to smash up the likes. Let's hit the 100 likes before we go offline later. Let's have a look here, guys. Hey, Maddie, how you doing, bro? Welcome back to the live stream. There's a high probability that the NQ is gonna break this resistance on the 30-minute and continue to the upside. Yeah, it could definitely be the case here, bro. Could definitely be the case here. What are your daily rules in trading? I don't really have daily rules, as in what do you mean daily rules? You mean like limited on trades and stuff? Or you mean as in what is my... I just explained how I look at the charts. I have a video for you guys if you're interested in having a bit of a understanding on how I trade. I will be it's an unlisted video. I don't mind sharing it with you guys. Yeah, look at this. We just swept the equal highs and now we're breaking it down again. It's not really doing anything. Give me 1 second. So the video that I have, if you guys want to watch it, it's a free unlisted video on YouTube. Explains a little bit on how I look at the charts. Some of you guys already watched it, but it's this one, and I'll share it with you guys. You can let me know in the comment sections if you like it or not, but I'll share it with you guys here in the chat. And yeah, maybe this helps you. All right, let's see. Yeah, we're breaking it all the way down again after sweeping the highs. All right, look at this. Nice. We're pushing really hard here on the VIX. See, maybe there's some geopolitical news that just came out. I don't think so. I think this is just the wick price action that you get right now at the moment. It is what it is. It's okay to full port and pass them in a day when the eval is cheap with the activation fee, but it's pointless with no activation fee. Yeah, for sure. For sure, I agree. Oh, I still have my cucumber. I don't like this. No, I don't like it either. I don't think this is tradable. I mean, look at the 20-minute. Is this tradable, guys? It's my question to you. This right here. Salt the cucumber at least. Nah, bro. No. No salt needed, bro. No salt needed. I don't know about this. I'm seeing shorts. Yeah, I don't see them personally. I don't see the clear longs either, to be honest. We just rated the inefficient price action. We still have inefficiencies above for the VIX. Gold is slowly coming back up. Let's see if gold wants to give us the entry still. Hey, Para, you're making a really good decision here, bro. The fact you're just calling it for what it is. Good, man. That's really good, bro. Tomorrow is another day, my friend. Tomorrow is another day. Yeah, for now, for today, we just have one break-even trade. And I guess that might be it. Unless something massively changes right now. It doesn't seem like it, though. Thomas' opponent says I see stars. Yeah, that's funny. I'm not that good of a boxer, guys. I have some experience, but I'm not that good. I've sparred some pretty good guys, though. I've sparred some pretty good guys. That's for sure. My ability was, especially when I was younger, was fight and don't quit. That was my main ability. I came home with blue eyes every single week. Every single week. Let's see. I say when I was younger, like I'm not still young, but when I was like 16, 17 years old, right? 18 also. Eventually I came to a point of realization that boxing is all fun and everything, but I wasn't going to be a professional boxer. So why would I let myself get beaten into every single week? 30 rounds at a time. For what? You know? What is the reason to do so? We used to do really long sparring sessions, guys. For the guys that know about boxing, like we used to do like 3-minute rounds and 20 rounds, right? For sure, at least. And then we just had a sparring day every single week. Everyone went sparring with each other and crazy, guys. Like genuinely speaking, never wearing headgear. Who you got, Spencer or Taizu this weekend? I don't know, bro. That's a good question. I almost decided to stay up for the McGregor fight, but I'm lucky I didn't, because that shit was awful. Really sad though. I really hoped he was coming back, but yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Too much cocaine. Yeah, that could definitely be the case, you know? Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure he found himself snoring lines every single week, but I'm off. Enjoy your day. Yeah, enjoy your day, Cam Jam. I think you're making the right decision here, bro. I think you're making the right decision. I'm still waiting for gold here, guys. I'm gonna wait and see what gold does. Maybe gold wants to come back to 6, give us a rejection, and then we're gonna continue to trend down. But yeah, if that doesn't do anything for us, then I probably will call it for what it is. I don't want to trade the Nasdaq. I don't think the Nasdaq is looking favorable, personally. I don't really think anything of it at the moment. You have 7 o'clock above right here. So yeah, the rate of liquidity above the highs. And then the sell-off continuation. Yeah, maybe the rate of liquidity could have been an entry, but then you have to put your stop here. It's a really tricky market today, guys. A really tricky market. Yeah, like I would say if it wants to really push out now, sure, I would say 120 should be reasonable, right? I would say that it wants to go towards 90 to 100. Yeah, it's just a really tricky market, bro. Just I have no opinion regarding anything else. Let's say they close it really bearish like this. This could be the short setup, right, for us. And back to midnight open. All right, so this could be the short play. We're gonna wait and see how this 15 closes. If they don't close it for me favorably, also looking at the VIX, I'm just gonna call it for what it is, guys, right? So we're gonna wait and see what happens here. If not, if it doesn't do what I want it to do, then I'm just gonna call it. Then we just call it with a break-even trade, and I'll come back tomorrow. But yeah, let's see. For the guys that haven't smashed the like yet, make sure to hit the like. That would be highly appreciated. Let's go for the 100 likes today, guys. We're actually dropping in views drastically. We went from 2,000 views, 2,500 views to like 1,000, but we have 100 people tuning in every single day. So I really appreciate that. I don't know what to say. Oh, gold just drastically pushed up. I don't know what that is. That's interesting. Let's have a look what happens here. DXY is still holding up. Is oil selling? No. Okay, so we just pushed it all the way back up. Let's have a look what happens here at 6, guys. Maybe this is still the sell continuation play. Oh, look at the retest of 6. You see that? Look at that. Look at this. Okay. Yeah, we did not have our entry set. So, it is what it is, I guess. Look at that. Precisely back to 6 o'clock and selling it off again. That's crazy, though. We're gonna wait for Nasdaq. And we have to wait for some closures here on gold. Yeah. Okay. I guess. So I guess this would have been it, right? Like this. Yeah, okay, yeah. Interesting market today, guys. We missed it again. Well, yeah, I didn't expect it to tap it up like that and then set it off all the way, to be honest, bro. I really didn't expect that. I had my limit removed. So, yeah, it is what it is. The market is tricky every second. If it wasn't, people would only trade it when it's easy. Well, yeah, there's moments the market is easy. We just and we put ourselves through mental pain by trading when we shouldn't be trading. Might be the COMEX move. Yeah, you might be right, bro. Pre New York session open, but yeah, it's not really what I was looking for. Moxie calling it a day. Enjoy Thailand, bro. Enjoy Thailand. I might be joining you soon. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Growing a mustache. Yeah, maybe. Maybe, you know, if I lose hair on my top of my head, maybe I can grow it back on the bottom of my head, you know? You know, why not? We could try it. We could try it. If I'm gonna be bald soon, at least I need some, you know? In Vietnam now. Oh. Hair again, yeah. Hair again. Always about hair, always about hair, guys. Alright, let's see. We got a new 15 opening in 3 minutes from now. The VIX is still pushing higher. Let's see. Waiting for this new 15. If it closes this bearish, I would be looking for a short back on the retest of 8. And that would be it for me, guys. Seasons, welcome to the live stream. Appreciate it. Appreciate you for tuning in. Yeah, so we missed the shorts here on gold again. I gotta be honest, this was unless I had the limit set, I would never be able to get involved here though. So yeah, it is what it is. Because let's say, for example, I would enter gold now. I would have to put my stop here. And then look for the continuation play down for gold. But it's not, it doesn't make sense because they could re-rate above 6 and then do it again. Alright, I like this. I like the closure overall. Also, when I'm looking at the VIX is still pushing higher, which is favorable. This would be my target though for the VIX to break through. So we have to get involved before that happens. So let's see if that happens, yes or no. I'm putting a sell limit down, waiting for them to come back up and potentially give us an entry here for the short continuation. I'm only risking one contract, so I'm low on size, guys, just so you know. I'm not risking a lot of money here. Let's see if they want to give us the entry though. I'm entering just below 8 o'clock open. Stop loss would be above current 8-hour high. We just rated liquidity of equal highs. And the continuation play would be towards midnight low. So this would be the play. Let's see if this happens though. This will be my last try, guys. Whether or not this is gonna play out is the question. Or my target is back to yeah, this low right here. Right here. Yo, take note. Hope you're doing alright, bro. I'm looking to short the Nasdaq. This is the current play. We got taken out once on break even. And now I'm looking for another play down. I do have some rules in mind though. If they take this high out on the VIX beforehand, I will call it for what it is. And if they take these lows on the Nasdaq before tagging me in, I'm also calling it. The market's not looking so ideal for me personally. We've been moving up and down. We're not really directional whatsoever. At least not in the current stage where I'm trading, right? If you took it somewhere around here, it's pretty directional. But yeah, just looking for the continuation play lower. And it was the same scenario for gold. We were looking for longs and then we looked for shorts, but we never got the entry. And I had my limit set, but I removed it. And then out of nowhere, they pump it up all the way. And my limit wasn't there, but otherwise I would have had a position here probably on break even now. But yeah, gold is also not really doing it anymore for me. The setup that we were looking for, we missed out on it from 6 o'clock. The flip of 6 and then the push lower for 2-hour return. This would have been it, right? But that didn't play. So now I'm still looking for this one. And this is a 1.5-hour return. Oh yeah, 1.5. But yeah, we'll see whether or not this wants to play for us. This is what I'm looking for at least. We've been closing bearish over and over again. So overall, you would say that it's looking favorable for the shorts, but it's a bit of a tough market today. A bit of a tough one. But let's see. I'm already in. My target is 794. All right, nice. You're targeting all the way down. Oh yeah, you're targeting back towards the open of the day. You're targeting back here. Okay, nice. Nice. I hope it plays out for you. That would be nice. We're still selling off on the VIX here. But we're not buying itself up now on the Nasdaq. Which, if you're already in, could be favorable. But for us, it would be nice if they first pull back a little bit. We'll see whether or not they want to do that. Let's see. Let's have a look here, guys. Be careful at 29.93, 1 hour OB. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, sure, yeah. Now, if they would go there, we would be out of the trade though. For the guys that haven't done it already, make sure to smash up the likes. That would be highly appreciated. We still got 90 people watching. You guys are legends. I truly appreciate it. I truly appreciate that. Let's see whether or not they want to sell it up from here now. If that's the case, then we probably won't be in this position. Like I said, if they take these lows, I'm going to call it for what it is. And then that would be it. We're crossing down further now on ES. I don't need to hear the frog sound again. Thank you. Yeah, let's see, guys. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Like when it comes to the trade that we had earlier, that was a really nice position. It just didn't want to go through. Didn't want to push. Then we got stopped out on break even. I couldn't find, there was no way for me to enter up here. There's just no way. We break back below 8 o'clock after taking the highs. 8 o'clock retest would be the sell for me. I'm buying where your stop loss is, Thomas. Oh yeah. Yeah, well that's okay, right? If I'm wrong and they break the hourly high, then it makes sense they want to potentially go higher, you know. Here goes gold. Yeah, gold is going again. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I could have entered here, but I didn't really like it, to be honest. Because if I would have entered here with the let's say you would think about the order block theory here, right? And I would have entered and I put my stop above this high. It's a bit of a tough spot to be in, right? For me personally. If I would enter for the shorts, I would enter below 8 o'clock lows like this, and that's impossible, right? Like, because look at this, then my stop would be like this. There's no way, I can't do that. So I would have entered here, and then my stop would have been above 6 o'clock highs, which instantly also it decreases the risk to reward ratio. So it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Let's see. We could still get tagged in here on NQ. So I'm still gonna wait for that. But we'll see. Yeah, gold is selling off pretty drastically. Yeah, for sure. I just missed it because I wasn't expecting this type of push up, to be honest. It's just dumb. Well, yeah, dumb. Just didn't see it. Would have been a nice trade for sure, yeah. Let's see, we got the last 20-minute candle coming in here in a minute. Yeah, I'm still allowing this one to come back up. If they break higher on the VIX, then that would be it for me. But I'm still giving this one a shot. Alright, I'll be back in a second here, guys. Be right back. All right, let's see. Let's have a look. Hey, Daniel. Nice to hear that, bro. Congratulations on the shorts on gold. Nice play. Yeah, I missed it personally, bro. I missed it twice now. I even had my limit set at 6. I even had the limit set here, right here. And I removed it. So yeah. It is what it is, though. Can't really do anything about it. Just opened the new 20-minute candle. And now the range is too big for me to enter. Otherwise, the entry would be at 8 o'clock right here. But yeah, no. Alright, we're crossing higher as well here on the VIX. Okay, that's it for me, guys. Personally. What was the reason for removing? I was in a short on Nasdaq and I wasn't paying attention. So I was too focused and too dialed in on the Nasdaq personally. So that was the main reason I removed it. Because we were in a short on Nas. And yeah, I came back to break even, sadly. And then I stopped looking at gold. That's the main reason, you know. Yeah, that's it for me, guys. I'm gonna call it for what it is. Overall, good day. It was a bit of a tricky one on NQ. Gotta be honest with you. We had the short position, got stopped out on break even. Then it didn't do anything. Then we could get another entry here, but it didn't give it to us before we actually bought up here for the VIX. When it comes to gold, yeah, gold, we had the entry on 6. We missed the first one. So you had the closure below because we were waiting for the hourly close. And then they came back and we didn't take it. So yeah, this would have been the play on 6 for the shorts on gold. The most ideal one. You also had this one, right? Just before in the 5-minute. This one was a little bit less likely because the hour wasn't close. It was about to close. But yeah, it is what it is, guys. You know, it is what it is. Part of the game. So we're calling it break even for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you all for tuning into the live stream, though. If you haven't hit the like button yet, make sure to do so. That would be highly appreciated. And if you aren't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hit the notification bell so you're aware of whenever I go live. But yeah, that was it for me, guys. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. I really do. How do you look at the VIX? I give you an article that you can look into it. But the VIX is basically a fear measuring index, but it also measures volatility. So it likes to contradict against the Nasdaq. All right, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate every single one of you. I'll look at this short, by the way. What a selling pressure right now here on gold. For the guys that are in, congratulations. Nice play. And the Nasdaq is also selling off. So yeah, it is what it is. Thank you guys. See you tomorrow. Have a lovely rest of your day and stay safe for the open coming in 45 minutes. All right, guys, that's it. See you later, alligator. In a while, crocodile. Ciao, 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 ciao.